Eldergrove Forest. In the small, forgotten town of Black Hollow, shadows danced at dusk, and whispers filled the air like fog. Eldergrove Forest loomed on the outskirts, a sprawling expanse of gnarled trees and tangled underbrush. Those who dared to wander its eerie paths often spoke of dark tales, a place where light struggled to penetrate, and the wind carried secrets of the lost. A decade had passed since the last soul disappeared within the forest, swallowed by an insatiable darkness. The townsfolk avoided its thickets, choosing to recount harrowing tales around flickering campfires, warning children to stay within sight of the light. But one particularly hot summer evening, curiosity tugged at the hearts of three friends, Anna, Lucas, and Mia. They were drawn to Eldergrove, not by fear, but by a reckless sense of adventure fueled by the thrill of the unknown. "Come on, it'll be fun," Anna insisted, her blue eyes sparkling with mischief. The idea excited her, to delve into the heart of a place so steeped in mystery and horror. Lucas shifted nervously, glancing toward the darkening horizon. "I don't know, guys. What if it's true? What if the stories are real?" he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. He had always been the cautious one. Mia, ever the bold dreamer, laughed lightly. "Don't be such a coward. I'll even bring a flashlight," she teased, waving the device in the air as if it could ward off the unseen. With a mixture of trepidation and exhilaration, they made their way toward the forest at twilight, the sun sinking behind the towering trees. The air grew thick, and a heaviness settled in their chests, yet laughter echoed as they stepped through the treeline. The forest welcomed them with open arms, its canopy swallowing the last remnants of daylight. As they ventured deeper into Eldergrove, the familiar sounds of chirping crickets faded, replaced by an unsettling silence. Shadows loomed and swirled, transforming innocent shapes into foreboding figures. They pushed their anxieties aside, cracking jokes and recounting urban legends, hoping to lighten the heavy atmosphere that pressed upon them. But as they wandered deeper, the laughter began to falter. Mia, who had walked ahead, suddenly stopped. "Guys, do you hear that?" she asked, her enthusiasm overshadowed by apprehension. A low, sorrowful melody drifted through the trees, like a forgotten lullaby sung by a ghostly voice. "I don't hear anything," Lucas replied, shifting nervously from foot to foot. Anna, feeling a chill crawl along her spine, shook her head. "Let's keep moving," she urged, but Mia was transfixed, her eyes wide. "Wait. I think it's coming from over there," she said, pointing towards a thick cluster of trees where the shadows seemed to dance differently. Against her better judgment, Anna followed Mia, with Lucas reluctantly trailing behind. The haunting melody grew louder, its tones echoing through the trunks, resonating deep within the core of their beings. It was beautiful yet unsettling, and Anna felt an inexplicable urge to move closer. As they approached, the trees thinned to reveal a clearing bathed in an otherworldly glow, illuminating ancient stones arranged in a circle. In the center stood a spectral figure, draped in spectral white, its hair wild and floating as if suspended in water. The figure gestured towards the stones, enticing them forward with a delicate hand, the song drawing them in like moths to a flame. "Stay back," Lucas shouted, grabbing Anna's arm. But it was too late. Mia had already stepped into the circle, her eyes glazed over, entranced by the apparition. "Mia! Come back!" Anna cried, her heart racing. But Mia remained transfixed, oblivious to their fear, as if the music beckoned her soul. The figure's voice, soft yet haunting, whispered secrets of the lost, tales of those who had ventured into the forest and never returned. "Join us, dear child," it sang, resonating through the night. "Eldergrove beckons." Panic surged through Anna. "We need to leave," she yelled, yanking on Mia's arm with all her strength. The spectral figure turned its gaze towards them, its eyes shimmering with an unnatural light, and suddenly the music stopped. The forest fell into an oppressive silence. "Mia! We have to go," Anna pleaded, but Mia's gaze was fixed on the figure, as if caught in a trance. The air around them grew colder, and dark tendrils of mist began to slither across the ground, curling around their ankles like serpents. Suddenly, Lucas took a step forward. "Mia! You have to listen to us," he shouted, his voice trembling. "This isn't safe." The specter's expression twisted with anger, its features distorting into something unrecognizable and grotesque. "You dare defy the sacred whispers of Eldergrove," it hissed, the ground shaking beneath their feet. Just as dread settled in, Mia blinked, breaking free from the enchantment. What is happening?" she gasped, looking around in confusion. The mist closed in on them, shapeless and dark, as the shadows in the trees seemed to stretch and curl, ready to snatch them away. "Run!" Anna screamed, and they turned, sprinting back toward the entrance of the clearing. The forest reacted, shrieking with rage as branches clawed at their clothes and roots reached for their feet, trying to drag them back into the darkness. Lucas took the lead, desperation fueling their flight. "This way!" He directed them left and right as they dodged falling branches and tangled vines. Each step felt heavier, the forest seeming to conspire against them, urging them to succumb to its sinister embrace. But they would not give in. Breathless and wild, they burst through the underbrush, the cool night air wrapping around them like a lifeline. The familiar outlines of the trees began to appear, the oppressive weight of the forest lifting as they neared the edge of Eldergrove. With one final push, they emerged from the trees and tumbled onto the familiar ground of Black Hollow, the moonlight but a distant memory. They fell to the grass, gasping for air, hearts pounding like war drums. Anna glanced back at the dark mass behind them. The edge of Eldergrove held still, a facade of tranquility. But beneath it lay feral secrets, echoing softly beneath the surface, the whispers swirling like smoke. Did we escape?" Mia panted. "I think so," Lucas replied, his voice shaky. "But we can't forget. We need to warn everyone." They huddled together, trembling, knowing that Eldergrove had not relinquished its hold so easily. Deep within its depths, the forest still waited, hungry, abiding by a different kind of time, the kind that twisted reality and devoured the unwary. Even in the light of day, beneath the mundane facade of Black Hollow, its echoes would endure, whispering tales of the lost and beckoning the curious once more into its dark embrace. And so, Eldergrove Forest stood, deceptively quiet, its secrets growing deeper each night, with the promise of future tales waiting to be written, of adventure, fear, and the haunting, eternal whispers that would always linger in the hearts of those who dared to tread its paths.